Hello, welcome back. I know it's been a while. I'm trying my son's headphones, so we'll see how this goes. Plugs in directly into the USB-C port. We'll see. Anyway, I know I haven't done this. I checked my YouTube channel. It's been about 3 months. But let's go ahead and do a quick walk around at the garden plot. Of course, I tried to get rid of the planes, ready for them to most of them to go by, but I swear they're just out today. Can't blame them. It's a gorgeous, beautiful day in Southern California. We'll start on this edge of the bed. We have some beets. They probably need to be harvested. I've never had spinach do that well. I direct seeded it. Just threw a bunch of seed packets out there, see what it would grow, and it did pretty well. We have some peas back there. I don't know how they got there. The compost bin is composting. I've been throwing in the scraps from home because we cook so much at home that I have enough to fill this one, the one over there, and then another one of these at home on top of my regular compost bin. On this side of the bed we have potatoes I harvested. I had potatoes here I harvested. I had carrots here we harvested. I think I planted chard or beets. Something else is coming up. It could just be weeds. The tomato plant is a total volunteer. Don't know what variety it is. We have garlic around the edges. There's a garlic and onion down there. We still have the calendulas going pretty strong. We replanted peas because we have peas here. They did really well on this TP and on that one over there. We had a ton of peas. They got us a couple sandwich bags full of peas, and so we've been eating those from the freezer. We replanted. The seeds might have been too old, or they might have been too dry. We only got a few of them that germinated. I'm not upset. With this early winter, with this early spring, summer, I'm okay with it because I can replant something else. I've already got plants going at home, so we'll see what we can drop in here. This cabbage, beautiful cabbage. We have the garlic. Right behind it, we have variegated nasturtiums. Kate, my plot neighbor, I bought some plants from her last year. She threw in some nasturtiums. I think it was like a little 3-inch or 4-inch pot. I just dropped the whole thing in. There was a bunch of plants in there. I dropped it in, not really thinking it was going to do all that well, and it just exploded. It literally took over like that whole middle section of the bed, which I'm okay with. Helps fill in the gaps. So we got the onions on the side. We've got some shallots in here. These are the ones I got from San Diego Seed Company. And she just pulled these back a minute ago, and check this out. I mean, like, these suckers are like massive. I'm gonna cover them back up because I don't need them just yet. So I'm gonna leave them in there. We have the kale plants that have been here for a few years. I've cut them back and only left them to one. They're not doing all that well. I think they're getting too hot. We have some purple Brussels sprouts. They're doing pretty well. We have a ton of Swiss chard. I don't even know how many plants are in there. Like I said, I had a bunch of old seed and I just threw a bunch of stuff in this bed and see what would grow. There's another cabbage over here, just like the one over on that side, but this one doesn't get a ton of sun because of this thing, so that's why. So I'm going to trim this back. There's a group in my area. Well, I have my own gardening group where we trade, but I'm going to see if I can also donate it to somewhere else if they don't want it, because chard grows pretty easily for us here. So I think it's kind of like zucchini. It's like people get kind of tired of it, and so we'll see. I've got onions planted all the way throughout the Dixondales, and so I had potatoes in here. I harvested those out. This is a section in the garden that I kind of had gotten rid of as far as planting, but then I have found a bunch of potatoes, and so with the compost we make here, I backfilled it in. The soil only goes down maybe a few inches, and so like the hard clay, the hard ground, like that over there. Although I think somebody just took over that plot, so I think they cleaned it up some. And so I threw a bunch of the compost from here down in there. I sifted it, left it nice and fine. Potatoes grew pretty well. And so then I still had onions in here, and then we still have the calendulas down here. This one is the same thing as the other side. We harvested out all the peas. We just refilled the Goyas. Planted new peas, but the peas haven't come up. I think they were just too old, too dry. They didn't do really well. This is One of the broccolis I also got from Kate. I want to say it was Bellstar. We got a nice massive head out of it. She told me that she thought it was only going to be like the one major head. But we have some broccoli side shoots. So the last time we were here, the kids ate them all up. They fought for one of them. For the one that we found, but there's more. Also, compost kitchen scraps and then whatever grains I find here. I've mixed them up. They've been eating all that up. We have some more onions. I don't know if these are onions or shallots. This might actually be garlic. I think these are shallots. We put in some peas. Only one of them came up. Like I said, it's okay because at least that way when the plants are ready, then I can just plop them in just to fill in the gaps. I don't like to have open soil just because then that way with all the seed especially, the soil gets dried up and it kills the soil life. I know it's a quick video. This is only about a 6-minute video so far. I'm probably going to edit this down. But that is the community plot. Not a massive amount of stuff as far as types and varieties or whatever, but it does feed. I tried to leave stuff here that I can just kind of leave and not really bother over the winter just because I don't get here during the week. So by the time I get off of work and I get down here, it's already too dark, so I really can't water. Thankfully, we've had some rains, but I'll be working some on those days that I work from home. I can come right over right after work, right after finishing at 5, and then come straight over. That way I can catch the sun before it dips down too low. But we are getting into spring and then summer, and so those days are the ones that I can come in after work and water stuff in like every 2-3 times a week. At least that way that stuff will grow better. But I'm already starting seeds. Tomatoes, peppers, eggplants are the main ones, but I do have other stuff that I'm going to direct sow. All the root veggies, some beans I'm probably going to direct sow. I do have a ton of beans that I want to just plant in trays, see what comes up, because if it's not going to come up like the peas we had over here, then what the hell's the point? So anyway, I'm going to leave the broccoli in for now. Looks like we got a bunch of side shoots. I'm going to write it out. I'm not doing all this work today, by the way. I just came down to water. We got to thin that out. First I want to find out where I can take it, or who would take it, just to kind of get an idea. If I have a good response, I might come back tomorrow morning and pick some. We've been deadheading the calendulas over the winter, and so they've extended their blooms, but I'm kind of done with them at this point. And so I think when we do the reset for spring, I'm going to pull all of them out. We'll toss them over in the compost bin over there, or I might throw some in my worm bins over here. I'll empty out the worm bins, sift out the soil, whatever big pieces are still left in there, I'll throw them back in there. Some of these calendulas. Probably trim back some of the nasturtiums, although they're really pretty. But I do have garlic on the end over here, and then onions on the other side, and so those will still be in there a while. The garlic is probably going to be there until like late June. The chard, I think if I just keep it trimmed back and keep it harvested, I can still plant other stuff in between. I'm thinking maybe tomatoes on beans on the teepee. Maybe some cucumbers in between these poles, just like I did last year. I have some Armenians cucumber seeds. Love those. They did really well here. I'm going to leave this tomato here because it came up on its own. This is coming out. I might put in some tomatoes, or peppers actually. Pepper here and pepper there because they did very well there last year. But it's just and then once that comes out, then I may or may not put something there in that corner. I might put in a little bean teepee or something. But anyway, that was it. I will catch you guys on the next one. Don't forget to hit the bell, the notification, the thumbs up, and questions, comments, concerns, constructive criticism down in the show notes, or in the comments below, in the section below. If you have any questions specifically, and you are in this area, I will try and answer them to the best of my abilities for this area. Some of you guys might be coming over from Threads. I've been a little more active over there lately. So please go to Facebook or your Instagram and look up local gardeners. If you're like in Houston, type in like Houston gardening as a hashtag or something. And you're going to get people there that you're going to find people there. Also, you can go ahead if you want. What you can do is go ahead and leave at least your state. I know people don't want to share their city specifically, but like put down the state. Hey, I'm in Texas. I know Texas is massive. I just picked a random state. Um, if somebody from that state is watching this video, let them know, hey, I grow there as well. This is what I do, and this is, what I do, or, what's going on with it. All right. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.